So tonight I sat on the phone with one of my cousins for about an hour and some change on the phone, right? And we were just kind of talking about every little thing. We just recently had a death in our family, so we talked about our aunt that recently passed away. And we got on the subject of women being independent. Ladies, it is 2020. I think that all women should have their own money in some capacity. Our grandfather, his name was Albert. Albert had 16 kids. Albert worked many jobs to take care of these 16 kids. Our grandmother, she never worked a day in her life until she got a little older and she chose to work. Albert made sure that his family was well taken care of. Cool. Fast forward to today, LaDante, Jamarquan, Marquise, and whoever else, they're not built like the men from the 20s and the 30s, obviously. Everybody is completely different. I think women should have their own money. I just think everybody should have their own money. I think everybody should be able to bring something to the table. I think that, especially women, we need to bring more to the table just in sex. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sex is great, but sex doesn't pay the bills. Sex does not keep the bills paid if, your significant other takes off and leaves you. It's just not enough these days. We have to learn how to be independent. We need to learn how to make better choices for ourselves as far as picking men. You know what I'm saying? I have a horrible track record with men. You know what I'm saying? They start off really, really nice, and then they morph into, something else. But what I've learned over the last few years is how to walk away from people. I think a lot of times women, we stay with a man that's not good for us because we say, whoa, I've been with him for this many years, or we have this. Sometimes the bad does outweigh the good, and that is when you have to pack up and you have to go. You know what I'm saying? I think women, we have children sometimes, and you don't want to separate your children from their dad. But listen, people get divorced every day. You gotta roll. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody should be self-sufficient. I'm in a position right now, if I had a boyfriend and like we were together and he were to pack up and leave me, it wouldn't faze me because I have my own money. I'm very independent. I can take care of myself. I'm at an age where I don't want to take care of myself. I want to be taken care of. I want to, get somebody to take care of me so I don't have to work so hard. But right now, that's not the case. So I do have to work. I have to work and I have to be able to maintain. I try to preach to my little sisters, and then I have a daughter that's 23, that you should always have your own money. Not that you can't trust the guy that you're with. It's just a new day. It's different. This is not the 40s and 50s when it was okay for women to not work. We can't do that anymore. You have to be able to bring something else to the table, because man or woman will leave you for somebody else that does have something to bring. And then, that's a whole nother, issue in itself. I just think that everybody needs to be self-sufficient. I think everybody should have something to bring to the table. And I think everything should be like a partnership. It shouldn't be, well, the man has to have 80% and the woman 20%. I think everybody should just like meet in the middle, and everybody should, take care. I just think that we young women, we get ourselves in situations where we date these men and then they pack up and they leave us, and then we're in a situation. I also think that we have a trapped mindset when you have a baby with somebody that you're destined to be with that person. This is a new day. That doesn't matter. I don't care how many kids you got with Bobby. Bobby will leave you for somebody else without even thinking twice. Or Brenda will leave Bobby and take her kids and not even think twice. So it's a new day. This is not 40 years ago where parents would stay with a significant other because, they have kids. That doesn't matter anymore. Life is too short. You need to make sure that you're being self-sufficient. You need to make sure that you can take care of yourself. I'm not a Republican, by any means. But I do agree when they feel like everybody should be self-sufficient. I feel like if I can get up every day and go to work, so can you. I feel like if I can pay for my own medical insurance and expenses, so can you. I think that every able-bodied person should work. You know what I'm saying? I think that, we all just need to reevaluate ourselves. When you get into a relationship, you have to bring something else to the table besides looks and sex. And that's men or women, men or women. These men are just as bad as the women nowadays. You have these men that want to be taken care of. Yeah, they feel like you want to be, the new age woman where you can pay all the bills and I'll stay at home. Not in this house. I'm like Norman. Anybody stay up in here gonna pay bills. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna pay bills and you're gonna get out. Plain and simple. I know that, women, by nature, you want your man to take care of you, and you should feel that way. But in the case where he's not, you have to put yourself in a situation where you can be self-sufficient, you can be independent. If this guy leaves you, you don't have to worry about how I'm going to pay the light bill, how am I going to pay the rent, how am I going to do this, how am I going to do that. You have to put yourself in a position to where you are safe and secure, and you don't have to worry about things like this. Thanks.